he he received the special favor of the Lord. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, Krishna is more happy. Krishna is more satisfied when we serve his devotees, when we serve his confidential representative, the spiritual master. He's more satisfied when we serve them than when we serve him directly. So just yesterday or the day before, of course that's also confirmed, mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, those who claim to be my devotees, they're not my devotees. Those who claim to be the devotees of my devotees, those who are engaged in serving the devotees, those who are engaged in serving living entities who are dear to the Lord, especially dear to the Lord, who are the two most dear living entities to the Lord. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Go Brahmana, cows and Brahmanas. Cows and Brahmanas, we cannot understand how very, very dear. Just like Krishna, although he had gone to Dwarka and was playing out the role of a king, Kshatriya, he did not forget about his Brahmana friend, Sudama Vipra. When Sudama Vipra traveled from his village to visit Dwarka, very long journey by foot at that time, when Krishna was told that somebody has come, some old friend has come, and his name is Sudama Vipra, immediately Krishna, he ran to the gate and he embraced Sudama Vipra, and they had nice discussion how it was in Gurukul, how they got lost and spent the night because big storm, big rain, they were collecting wood. So I was hearing just yesterday how very important statement made by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that young boys from the, now I forget the Bengali term, but in English, in French is l'âge de raison. I don't know French. L'âge de raison. L'âge de raison means, âge is the same word actually, age. Raison means reason. Whenever a small baby cannot think, cannot reason, not yet developed, but young boy, usually around the age of 7 or 8, can start to think. It's called the age of reason. The age of intelligence begins to develop. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur very nicely explains how it is most important. So this was like, sometimes it happens a little earlier. Like Narada Muni, at the age of 5, he was already, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that from that time, from that early age, young boys should be introduced to serving Krishna. It should be connecting, should become rather more and more involved involved and absorbed in service to Krishna and service to Krishna's devotees, service to Krishna's cows, service to Krishna's deities, service to Krishna's mission, like that. That is also why Srila Prabhupada, just making the connection now, in his essay called Gita Nagari, very important essay, he mentions how in the Gurukula, just like our Gurukula is coming up, we are calling our Gurukula the same name that Prabhupada is giving. Prabhupada spoke about establishing Gita Patshala. Our Gurukula is Gita Patshala, Gurukula. And Prabhupada actually, he explains that we will not take boys older than 7 years old. Only young boys will be admitted in the Gurukula, because it is from the beginning that from the age of 7, young boys can be trained nicely. And if a young boy is not trained, as Prabhupada mentions here, if we're not engaged in Krishna service, if we're not properly trained, then we will engage in Maya service. There's only two. There's Krishna's internal energy, bhakti, devotional service, and there is Maya. So, Mahatmanas tumam partam daivim prakritim asritaha bhajanti ananya manaso. Bhagavad Gita explains how those who are great souls, Mahatmas, they take shelter of the Daivi Prakriti. And those who are not so fortunate, there's only the other energy, which is the Mohini Prakriti. Moga Shamoga Karmano, Moka Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshasim Masurim Chaiva, Mohinim Prakritim Sritaha. When we take shelter of the Mohini Prakriti, external energy of the Lord, means Maya, then Mogasha Mogakarmano, all of our plans and aspirations, all of our activities, all of our knowledge actually becomes unsuccessful. So that means that we have to start Gurukula quickly. Yeah, because how many boys are not getting opportunity, isn't it? There are two main ways to actually properly engage young boys, and today they're not properly engaged, so therefore they are being spoiled, unfortunately. One way is the Gurukula, where from this very young age, so we can say practically Narada Muni at the age of 5, because for 4 months he was with the sadhus, Bhaktivedantas, it was like Gurukul. It was like Gurukul because he was every day very closely rendering personal service. He would be serving them prasadam. He would be cleaning their cloth. He would be washing. He would render all types of simple, ordinary service. But actually, that is not simple, ordinary service. Because whatever service we render to sadhus, Krishna, he knows, and Krishna, he appreciates. And because at that young age, Narada Muni, children, they are innocent. when they are engaged in this way, their original spiritual nature becomes awakened. And Krishna very nicely infuses them, gives them dadami buddhi yogam tam tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. Those who are engaged nicely in my devotional service. So Narada Muni was, as a young boy, nicely serving for 4 months, and therefore Krishna became very pleased, and Krishna favored him, blessed him to advance in spiritual life. So this is Gurukula is, of course, for especially those who are more inclined, who will be able to take up very deep study of Shastra. But there's another, we could say another type of Gurukula, which is non-formal Gurukula. Formal and non-formal. Formal Gurukula means one place, just like our Gita Patsala, one place where boys will stay and teachers will introduce different subject matters. And in the beginning, actually, of Gurukul, at that young age, not so much of what we call academics. Academics will come a little later. Main activity actually is to render two main activities. In the early days of Gurukula, one activity is simply to do seva. Different kinds of, we call menial service. Cleaning, going in the garden, getting flowers, doing seva, deity worship, helping, assisting. Goshala will be there, doing seva, go seva, picking up cow dung. City people, they don't like to pick up cow dung. They think they will become dirty, but after they become clean by touching cow dung. Yeah. Someone wrote one. I should read this. Actually, not only in India that cow culture is actually outside of India, and yeah, I think I have it here. In even in America, it's amazing. Even in America, many years ago, maybe like 100 years ago, they were also looking after cows, cowboys. Their name is cowboys. Just like Narada Muni is a boy. In India, we call cowboy, actually Gopala. Gopala is a cowboy. He's a young boy looking after small cows. We call it calves. So, so people who look after cows, somebody, this was in 1936. 1936, before, well, so that means now it's 2024. 34, 12, so 88 years ago. Somebody wrote this, somebody who has no connection with Vedic culture. I sent it actually on our BRS daily snippets here. It's very nice, you listen carefully. It's called Ode to a Cow. Ode means like poetry, some lyric, we call lyric, like song. When life seems one too many for you, means when life seems complicated, go and look at a cow. When the future is black and the outlook's blue, go and look at a cow. For she does nothing but eat her food. What does a cow do? All day long, as soon as the sun is, she goes, starts eating, and that is cow's dharma. That is her seva. You put cow on this side, or you put cow on this side, she eats, and that's her main service, occupation. For she does nothing else but eat her food and sleep in the meadows entirely nude. Means cows after eating sometime, then they sit down. Not bothered about it. Refusing to fret or worry or brood because she doesn't know how. Cows, they have no worries. Whenever you're feeling bothered or sore, whenever we're feeling disturbed, go and look at a cow. We'll have a cow here soon. Yeah. When everything else is a fearful bore, go and look at a cow. Observe her gentle and placid air, her nonchalance and savoir-faire, her absolute freedom from every care, her imperturbable brow. So when you're at the end of your wits, go and look at a cow. When mind is too much disturbed, go look at a cow. And when your nerves are frayed to bits and wrinkles furrow your brow, she'll merrily moo in her gentle way. The only speech of cow is moo. Switching her rudder as if to say, bother tomorrow, let's live today, take the advice of a cow. So in other words, this is the Brahmabhuta state. Brahmabhuta prasanatma na sochati na kanchati. Those who are in the Brahmabhuta stage means who are mind is peaceful. Cow's mind is peaceful. Not thinking about tomorrow, not thinking about yesterday, not worried. So that's why in the Vedic culture, essential in the Vedic culture is association with cow. Because cow is peaceful. If you want to be peaceful, you associate with cow. Vedic culture, that is very important instruction. So whole Vedic culture is based on that type of mood and mentality, which is actually the mood and mentality of Brahmana. Brahmana is peaceful. Vaishnava meant to be above Brahmana actually. So Vaishnava, it means also, just like cow's business is the same. Chewing food, sitting down, relaxing, being peaceful. So devotee business also is the same. Doing seva. I go this place, I go that place. Devotees sometimes they want to, oh, no, I want to go to this place. I want to change temple. But if one is happy, satisfied, seva is seva anywhere, everywhere. And when we do nicely, with attention, when we nicely do whatever seva, even ordinary simple seva, there is, I forget who is telling this nice story. In some temple, there was very beautiful deity of Krishna. And one sadhu, different sadhus would lecture. And there was one simple, like, servant cleaning the temple. He was serving for many, many years, very steady in his service. So one time this very we call very good at kotha, pravachan, giving talk. So temple deity was there, and then speaker was here, and then this this servant, this devotee, simple devotee, no education, never went to school, just doing simple, ordinary seva. He's watching so many people, they're listening to this speaker. And he's talking so wonderfully, so nicely. Then Krishna is hearing also. So Krishna, he wants to come out of the temple. And this devotee who's serving that to me, he's shouting, "Hey, get back!" And the one who's speaking, he's telling him, "Who's making this noise? Why are you making this noise?" Then he comes to know this person. So then he's asking him, "Why are you shouting like this?" Then he's telling him, your katha is so attractive. You're speaking so nicely. Krishna wants to come out and sit down to hear. But I'm telling him he cannot do that. So who can, unless one is advanced devotee, cannot speak like that, cannot chastise the Lord or order the Lord. So the idea is that actually Krishna, he is described, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. Sat Chit, Chit means full of knowledge. Sat, eternal. And Ananda, full of happiness. So we also, the Jivatma, living entity, we are also Mamai Vangsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are the Amsha, part and parcel. We also have this Satchit Ananda. We are also eternal. We also have so much knowledge. Not like Krishna, but we have so much knowledge. And also Ananda. So that means that actually when the consciousness becomes purified, that knowledge automatically will come, you see. Krishna will give us that knowledge. Krishna will allow that knowledge to become manifest or revealed. So that is called Vigyan. Ordinary knowledge, Jnana. But Vigyan, that type of knowledge is possible when one particularly engages in bhakti, in devotional service. So that is why previously in India, over 7 lakhs Gurukul. 7 lakhs Gurukul. So that means that so many young boys were getting this wonderful opportunity from very young age to render service to Krishna, to practice their bhakti, their devotional service, and in this way became very ideal devotees of the Lord. So this is very much needed in modern day. This is very much needed in in our present situation, and therefore we should take inspiration from this very nice life story, personal example of Narada Muni. We have many such examples in the Bhagavatam. So our only business actually is to render service. That is the main activity. That is how we can become satisfied, happy. That is how, the only way we can actually attract Krishna's attention also. Krishna's blessings. And without Krishna's blessings, we cannot succeed actually. Yeah. So this is the beginning of Narada Muni's explanation of how he was fortunate to come in contact with these sadhus and to render service to them. Yes? Okay, we can close here.